scene here. Ben Brown being on top. Oh, never mind. Mike Jones puts it on top here. But where is Tommy Cogan? Where is the championship contender? Where is he? Coming around here. Is he on a valid lap? He is on a valid lap. He's 5 tenths up on his previous best. Turns in. That's very tidy, and he gets a good launch as well. We can see the relative going even greener than before, and that puts him third. 2 tenths down on Daniel Wright. Yeah, this is going to be a really close battle going into the race. Afonso, one of the... Oh, and he has a big moment going out of that corner. And that is going to lose him a lot of time. Mike Jones, our new pro driver. Currently a second down, but is in 4th place in the Honda, which is a very good position for that car. Sam Carasolo is also the newly promoted pro driver, is currently about 2 tenths up going through the end of Sector 1, going into Sector 2, now 3 tenths up. Currently running in 7th place. We'll follow him around for this round because the Porsche is so strong around here. Gets on throttle early as you're supposed to, but rides the curb. Not my favorite thing to do up here. Keeps it in 4th, right? Yeah, throws it in on throttle early. Don't drift too wide because you lose a bit of speed if you go too wide. So good job on him there. Let's see if he gets the braking zone going into the hairpin. Looks like it. No, not there. The corkscrew. Looks like it does. And should be lifting here, get the front by feather the throttle, and get on throttle on apex. Good job. And then brake in a straight line, turn the car down. It looks good. Let's see if it... Oh, it just keeps it within track, so we lost a bit of time there. Going into the final corner, nice and tidy, early on throttle. It's going to be an improvement, but with how much, since he's losing a bit of time here going down the straight, and that puts him in 4th. Just as I say that, Tommy Cogan is 4 tenths down on Rico Dyson. Dyson being very competitive in his Aston around here. Aston is not known to be particularly good here, but Dyson is driving out of his mind at this point. Cogan, though, he is... he was committing for that corner as he was 5 tenths up going into it. With 3 minutes left, he should have about 2 qualifying laps still in there. Niall Drake, 5 tenths up going into the corkscrew. Let's see if he can improve. Braking at a good time. Our local controller driver doing an amazing job this season and is currently running in 3rd in the pro class with a controller. It is unheard of. Well, now you've heard it because Niall is actually doing it. Hits the inside curb a little bit and gets a bit uneasy going through the second to last corner. In the final corner, brakes a bit early, it looked like. Can he get on throttle? He couldn't get on throttle as early as he wanted, so he has another 3 tenths in that lap probably to find in the final 2 corners. But that puts him in 7th place ahead of Ben Brown, who's fallen down to 8th. But 8th is still a very good qualifying position for an AM driver in this league. Rico Dyson currently up 2 tenths. Going into the banked corner, manages to keep his foot in it. He is 2 tenths up going into the corkscrew. Good brakes in a straight line, getting the car to turn down, getting the front to bite, early shift up to second, good launch out of it, allows the car to roll, feather the throttle. Managing to pitch the car in toward the inside, and now it's just the final turn. It's 3 tenths up, braking as he's supposed to a bit early. And it looks like he's gonna lose a tiny bit of time on the straights, but he should be improving in his time to a 22.4. No, 22.3. That is unheard of. Good lap by Rico Dyson. Oh, Sam Carasolo has a big moment. I think he got held up a bit by Tommy Cogan there. And Cogan and Wright are neck by neck at the moment. With 1 minute and 20 seconds left of qualifying. Let's follow Mike Jones around in his chrome Honda as it takes the bank corner in a good way. Good, he's holding the gears for as long as you can. That's what you want to do with the new bump on the Honda, because they've increased the power on the high ends, but high revs, but lowered the power on the low revs. He gets through the corkscrew without any big scary moments. Gets into the banked corner before the second to last corner in a good way. Manages to get the front to bite down. He's improving by about 4/10 going into the final corner. Braking a bit before the two board. Looks good, gets on throttle in a good way, but it looks like it was maybe a bit too early because he lost a bit of time on corner exit, probably a bit squirmy. But that puts him in 5th place ahead of Sam Carasala with 1 flying lap to go. Okay, we have a lot of people in pits. That's not what we want to look at. We want to look at Tommy Cogan, who's currently 4/10 up going into that bank corner where he overshot it last lap. He is just about within track limits, but this is going to give him a lot of time. He's up to 6/10 going into the corkscrew. Brakes in a straight line, not losing any time through there. Losing a bit of time on the exit, only 5/10 up currently, going into the banked third to last corner. Good on throttle, but he is a bit wide, so he loses more time. Managing to... Oh, he has a moment! And he spins and he loses all of the time! No! That is very unfortunate for him. 1 corner left and he's not going to improve for his final lap. That was his chance to put it on 2nd place, and most importantly, not start next to Daniel Wright. As in frustration as he slams his Porsche into the wall. That is unfortunate and unlucky, but that is just how cruel racing can be. Okay, let's follow... is anyone improving? Well, we can look at Daniel Wright, who's currently on his last flyer. He is probably going to be 10th up when it comes to the corkscrew. Brakes for the corkscrew. Nice and tidy on throttle early. Actually held the first gear. Pinched the car down towards the inside there. He is dead even on his relative. Going into the second to last turn. Runs a bit wide there. Manages to keep it in. Manages also to get the car over to the right side, which is a good job, and yeah, it's not going to improve for his final lap. So, I don't think we're going to have any... Yep, that is it. Rico Dyson taking pole by 7/10. Impressive. With Alessio Melis, who have not given any love in the Ferrari, putting it on 2nd place. Daniel Wright and Tommy Cogan starting side by side in 3rd and 4th. Mike Jones in 5th. Sam Carasala in 6th. Niall Drake in 7th. Ben Brown, our highest placed AM driver after the quali, in 8th. Eiston in 9th. And Alexandre Afonso in 10th in the M6, which is worth mentioning. The M4 is not allowed in this championship this season. So, okay, going into this race. Setup tips from Fred. Max wing, high rake, soft bump stop rate, and bump stop range around 3. A softer front end to get the car to bite a bit more, but also not too soft of a rear end, because you don't want the rear to step out on you going through all the banked corners, especially the off-cambered ones. Overtaking possibilities, turn 1. That's about it. You can technically overtake into the final corner of the track, but it has to be because of a mistake in the second to last corner by the driver ahead. First lap is going to be very important because track position is king. You need to be ahead of your competitors going into the basically going into the race, because overtaking is so incredibly difficult without mistakes from the driver ahead. 2 Hondas in the top 10 is something that I like. I'm sorry that I keep talking about that, but the Honda will always be in my heart, although it's pretty shit. And yeah, I don't really have a lot to say besides that, because we have about 1 minute left of of session wait time before the race starts. I'm gonna be unprofessional and put on my put on the stream chat on my phone and see if we have any questions that I can answer. Oh, look! I have a friend for this race, it sounds like. Yeah, for those not being here before, this is Evie, or Adam Thompson, our age-old commentator who's actually been doing some races this season, but has been too busy to do all of them and left the commentating duties to me and Moose. But you're more than welcome to join us or join me for the race. It's going to be interesting with Rico Tyson actually putting it on pole by 7/10 on a short track. That is amazing. Yeah, but that's mostly because it's an underdog car, since it's on paper only good on a few tracks, but it's actually fairly decent around there. Personally, I don't really think this is a good track for GT3 racing, or in racing in general, just because it's so hard to overtake around here. But knowing the new tire model and how people may not have adapted to it yet, we might see some spicy action, especially on the first lap going into the first sector with all the slow speed turns, and perhaps someone tries to sneak it up the inside. So yeah, we'll see what happens basically as we're coming into the bank left-hander before the hill climb, if we can call it that. Yeah, you were driving so well there, but the final 10 minutes of the race ruined it for you. But yeah, you were so pacey, especially in Sector 1 in that Ferrari. It looked incredibly strong.
Green light, okay.
As we go green. Let's see here. Going into turn 1, I'm going to follow Rico Dyson on the... and it looks very tidy. I think Wright is it's trying to get through Elysium Ellis, which is not... And Tommy is currently losing positions, but he manages to keep it on the inside and stays in 4th. Further down the field, let's see if something's happened to the AM drivers. It looks fairly tidy through there. So Johnny Ashley, I think the relative... Oh wait, that's Tommy Cogan being... No, that was not Cogan, that was Niall Drake being a bit wide. Elysium Elise in 4th, and Cogan has a bit of hunting... The 3rd, and Tommy Cogan has a bit of hunting now to do. So basically, how it stands right now, Tommy can has to be within 3 positions of Daniel Wright at the race finish to win the Pro Championship. It's that close. He needs to finish at least 3 positions behind. As my game crash, I think. It did. Okay, I'll be back in a second. Sorry about that, boys. So the current the thing that is most important to mention is that Eric Chang is in the lead by I think it's 23 points going into this round, and he has to place 5 places ahead of what's his name, Michael LeBron to 5 places ahead of Michael LeBron to win the championship. Wonder if something. No, we're up and running still. Perfect. Okay, we're back in. I had a question in chat here. Do you not use the broadcaster program? We probably do, but the guy who usually streams this is not here tonight. So this is a last-minute stream by a guy who has no clue about how to do anything that has to do with technology, and I want to apologize for that. I mentioned in chat before that the stream quality is going to be subpar to what it was before, so this is basically just a last-hand or last-second fix so we could actually have the final race of the season streamed. So I apologize for it not being as good as it usually is. Not a lot of position changes from what I can see. I can see that Ben Brown's up to 7th, so he has gained a position going into the from the start. And yeah, looks like Eric Chang is still ahead of LeBron, who's dropped down to 17th. That is really big for the AM Championship currently. What he doesn't need. He needs to be 5 places ahead of Eric Chan at the end of the race to win it, and he's currently 4 places down on Chang. Yeah, probably damage. Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to see if we have any really close battles going on. It looks like David Jiang is really close to Jan Stam, who is a new driver who I've not seen before. So good to have more people there. And also we can see Michael LeBron trying to reel in Jeff Fleischman here a bit further down in the field. As I mentioned before, this is a nightmare start from LeBron because it's so hard to overtake here, and he needs to technically make up 9 positions at this current stage to win over Eric Chang. So he's gonna have a long and hard race ahead of him here. Yep, and a good way of saving tires nowadays, actually, not to run as much camber as you did before. A good amount of camber nowadays is about 3.7 to 3.3 depending on the car, as it looks like Jan Stam makes a mistake and David Jan gets past. Good move, very opportunistic move to send it up the inside going into turn 1, although it wasn't really in a position to do so. But we're still really close, but it looks like David Jang is going to have a run into the middle of sector 2 and basically makes a big enough gap to not get overtaken into the braking zone. What else is happening around here then? We have Sam Kurosala trying to chase down Mike Jones. Oh no, never mind, he's actually gotten past Mike Jones going out of the corkscrew. And yeah, that's not going to be good for the Honda, because the Honda aren't as fast in the corners as the Porsches, but it is very fast on the straight. But it gets a compromised exit because he hits the sausage curb on the inside, and he's not going to be in a position to do any overtaking maneuvers here. Kogan has gotten past Alessio Melise now and has started to hunt down Daniel Wright. But it's already a 3-second gap to Rico Dyson, who's currently running a fantastic race and has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:23 flat. Yeah, and another thing that is worth mentioning here is that Kogan has had to fight to get a position, so he's probably worn down his front tires a bit more than Wright has. But at the same time, since it is a mandatory pit stop with a tire change in the middle of the race, I don't think tire wear is going to be that big of an issue. But we will see towards the end of the race and see if they've actually locked up too much and have gotten flat spots, because that is not the thing you want to have going into the hairpin. As it looks, as I think we missed it, but the AM driver from the owned community, Ben Brown, has gotten past Mike Jones. So I think that Ben Brown is running a fantastic race. I was supposed to do a 6 hour, it was a 12 hour of Kyalami with him, but sadly the admins couldn't get the server to work. So yeah, I just stole his teammate instead. Yep, borderline. Oh, we're gonna have I think Christian Garin, yeah, he's gonna get a position, and Michael Lebron also gets a run here on Joshua Kimball, and I think Kimball's gonna lose another position to Alexandre Afonso, but it looks like he's gonna keep the position for now. It's a bit on the sun going into the corkscrew, and he keeps the position. Afonso was very cautious there, but that's good, so we don't have any big incidents going into the corkscrew. So that puts Michael Lebron up to 16th currently with where is Chang? He's down to 23rd. Something has happened. His last lap was very long, and that is not good at all for his championship hopes. That is very bad, honestly. So at this current pace with the standings as they're standing right now, Michael Lebron is the AM championship winner at the end of this race. So, let's see, did we have anything else interesting? Oh, yeah, Cody Barrett and Tom Castellani are fighting, and they're really close going through the first corner of the track. The Porsche being a very superior car on this track compared to the McLaren. The McLaren actually has a very bad VOP on this track, whilst Porsche is, well, in my eyes, the best car around here. But it doesn't look like it's going to be anything happening here. So Chang is going to have a long race ahead of him to claw back the positions, and he basically needs to. Okay, he needs to get past Cody Barrett, Tom Castellani, on Sam, Josh, and actually only technically needs to get by Barrett and Castellani to be in the AM Championship lead. But it's going to be close in the pit stops. And a mistake in the pit stops will not help him at all if that is the case. Let's go up further up the field as we see Mike Jones just dropped down to 9th. What is happening to the man? He was running such a good race in the beginning of the race, but now he's dropped down a lot. So Eistin is up to 8th and Niall Drake is in 7th. Kogan with the current fastest lap and is only a second behind Daniel right now, so it looks like the Porsche has more pace in the race than the McLaren, and the fastest lap of the race being a 1:22.6 with race fuel, which is really good around it. Pole time was a 1:22.3 for those wondering. Yeah, it is very fast. So, looking onwards from there, it looks like Fleischmann has made some kind of a mistake because he's dropped back a little bit. Yeah, he has lost a few positions now and is behind Michael LeBron, and that is not good for Chang at the moment, because, yeah, Chang really needs to start to get by people here soon, because otherwise I think that Michael LeBron is going to start running away with it. That is, together with the battle between Tommy Kogan and Daniel Wright, the two important battles for the championships going in here. At this current pace, Tommy Kogan is going to win the Pro Championship, but at the same time, you don't want to win by track position, you want to win on track, and therefore he wants to be ahead of Daniel Wright at the end of this race. If we look onwards, yeah, LeBron is really close to Chris Hungarian. And he's been really close for a few laps, but just it's been hard to over... Oh, he has a spin! He is in the wall, and he has front end damage. He clipped the outside of the curb and was too heavy on the throttle, and that is not good at all. How much damage are we talking there? I'm gonna have a look. It looks like he's suffering from floppy hood syndrome. Not too bad though, but the front arrow is not going to be helping him a lot here. He's probably going to drop about a second a lap with that front end damage. Yeah. Oh, Alessio Melis is sideways and is parked on the apex here. And then he gets T-boned by Hon Sam. That is not good at all for him. And that is a lot of damage for Alexandre Afonso. He's probably going to have to either stick it out for 5 minutes and lose a lot as Tom Castellani has spun around. Yeah, looks like Tom Castellani's tires might be a bit cooked, because you don't slide around like that unless you've spun earlier. Yeah, and Afonso is taking an early pit stop. So yeah, and Eric Chang has gotten past Heng On Sam now, and that is very big. That is very big for the AM Championship, and all of a sudden Eric Chang is right in the middle of everything again, and he's currently the winner of Split 2. All it took was one guy spinning out at the hairpin, and everything is thrown into the thick of it. Look at... Yeah, look at that. The age-old battle between Tim Wilkins and Alan Sue. Where have we seen this before? Well, every season of every race of every season. It never ends. It probably never will end. Oh. Eric Chang has gotten past Cody Barrett, so now it's only Michael LeBron ahead of him. And that is actually very big for Eric. And especially now when Michael LeBron is running with a bunch of front-end damage. This is I think this is the championship for Eric to lose at this point. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it looks like Cody Barrett is not particularly pleased sitting behind Eric Chang and is trying to find a way around. But as I mentioned before, it is extremely hard to get by at this track at this point. So I think... Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Come on, it crashed again. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm probably gonna do a system reboot. Okay, stream, I'll be back in a little bit.